Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Last class, I told you about the PI also, right? If you remember, there are, and I gave you the equation. If there are P naught and if there are Kp naught, then what will be the sigma RR, sigma theta theta, and tau R theta? So those equations was given to you. Now, what I'm going to do today is first to solve a problem so that you understand the effect of that. Okay, you remember that if there is a PI, then there is a effective K dash which become Kp naught minus Pi by P naught minus Pi. Okay, and in sigma RR or sigma theta theta equation, there is a Pi add and plus then P naught minus Pi by 2 and all this on is there. Okay, so there is a Pi which added. This get minus because this part is the Kerr solutions, and there is a that one that plus K dash is coming and all this. Okay, so there is a effective K dash comes because the Pi is subtracted. Now you remember I showed you one Excel file where we have done we have plotted the sigma RR and sigma theta theta for K equals to 1, 0.5 and this. So let me go there and show you the variation if we add this is not going up. So if we add PI into the system. So here, if you remember this K, let me take the K value 1 so that will help you. So you are seeing this Excel, right? Okay. So here K equals to 1 and you remember this red one was this 28 MPa. It came about 28 MPa. I just modified this one. Now I have added a let's say 2 MPa PI is applied. So internal pressure PI.
We are showing whiteboard only. Yes, sir.
It is
Yes,
now
sir.
visible. Yeah. So it is visible, right? Okay. Now you see that was K equals to 1 when P naught was 14 MPa. It was applied. Theta is 0 degree where I'm plotting it. A is again 2 meter. It is the same as before. Now this red one and the blue one is without PI. That is PI equals to 0. These two column without internal support pressure. So this was 28 and the bottom one is 0. Now when I applied 2 MPa as support pressure, now what happens you see this at the boundary, now I will have 2 MPa because this is what I have applied. So now equation is changed here, just whatever the equation I gave you. So I have calculated a new K dash and now this K dash is using here. You see this B6, this is B6. So I'm using this one as K and you see this PI is added here. This is that B5, the B5 and that is added here. So that is that new equation is used. And as a result, what happened, you see, the tangential stress reduced by 2 MPa the 28 become 26, and the confining stress, which was 0, it become 2 MPa. Now, can anybody tell me which one is the safer, this condition or this condition? Whether 0.28 is safe or 2.26 is more safe or less safe?
I think 226 is safe.
Do you know, can you guess the reason? I know it will be difficult for you to tell right now, but can you
It
guess?
will be more towards in situ condition, maybe, or
Right,
maybe.
right. No, you are in the right direction, I would say. See what is happening here. This is the stress this 20 is trying to break the rock. Okay. Now you have reduced it to 2 MPa. Okay. And then the rock was not confined, means I am not holding the rock when Pi equals to 0, because it is open. It is like a uniaxial condition. And since it's a uniaxial condition, means there is no confinement, or let's say cylindrical sample. I will draw it and you will know. And then I'm using a 2 MPa for holding the rock. So as a result, what will happen? Let's say you are breaking a simple chalk, okay, which is a cylindrical. Now, if somebody hold it and then you are giving pressure axially, it will take more pressure to break it, right? So in one way, I'm reducing that pressure, which will break it. Another way, I'm increasing the confinement so that it become more safe. So both way I'm working here when I give the internal support pressure. That's why it is supporting the tunnel, and this is telling us that at what level we will be either reducing the tangential stress or increasing the confinement stress. But after very quickly you can see it is again coming towards the in situ condition. So similar case, whether you put 0.5 or 0 or whatever, this will just do change, but every time it will be similar. The idea is similar. See, there was 35, this will be 33. So all the time that two difference will be there at the boundary. Okay, so this is what is the application of that support pressure you are seeing right in your eyes. Now I again go back to the whiteboard. I told you today I'm going to do back and forth because there will be some, again another Excel file is there. I will show you that too. Now let me show you in the whiteboard what I meant by that. So let's say I have a cylindrical sample like this. Okay. Now this is what is sigma theta theta. Let's assume I'm trying to break this rock, and this direction, it's a cylindrical, so you have to assume from all direction these stress are there. Okay, from all direction, because it's a cylindrical shape, the circular shape. So all direction, if this is my Pi, and if this is 0, so I'm not allowing any stress or any pressure. And if this is greater than 0, then what happened? I have applied this kind of stresses, so I'm holding the sample with some pressure. So definitely then sigma theta theta will be much more to break it. This is what it is. Now while you are applying Pi, you have done in essentially you have reduced it and you have increased it. So definitely you are in the more safer condition. Okay, in both the ways you are going towards safety. Okay, now one more thing before I go to another, the multiple, this thing, which I did not tell you before, is the displacement. I think you will see. Let me just write the equation displacement. See, when there is a tunnel of radius A and you have that P naught, K P naught, you are expecting these to come down also, right? Expecting there are some displacement. So I can say this tunnel may become something like this. Yeah, I'm exaggerating. This will be not so much displacement, but this tunnel is going to get squeezed, and this will depend on its material property also. See, so far we have not discussed the material property. Now, when you calculate displacement, then material property will come into picture, like modulus of elasticity, Poisson's ratio. All these things are important now. So, what is the displacement we can expect for a circular tunnel? Now, the derivation is given in the book in an appendix. I'm just directly writing the equation here. This radial displacement, that means towards the center, we normally termed it as UR, that is the radial displacement. And for considering plane strain condition, because this is our condition, the equation is P naught A square. This is without Pi, so I'm writing that, or let me write with Pi, then it will be even better. P naught minus Pi A square by 4 GR 1 plus K dash minus 1 minus K dash. This is also given in the book. You can see that this is Poisson's ratio nu minus A square by R square. This entire thing cos 2 theta. This is the radial displacement in plane strain condition. Now, if you want to see the derivative, it is given in the book in appendix. Now, this is with Pi. Okay, when you are using Pi, this should become K dash. And there is another displacement. If there is one displacement towards the center, then another displacement perpendicular to this, that is the tangential displacement, which we term as U theta. This is UR and that is U theta. Okay, so there are two displacement, and the U theta is, because displacement are very important when you want to also know the stability. P naught minus Pi, this part will be same, and you know what is G, right? Can anybody tell me what is G?
Modulus of G.
Right, and that is E by 2 into 1 plus nu. Okay. It's the same formula. Plus square by R square. Yeah.
So how is there any tangential motion? So how is there any tangential strain? I think it is only radial, na? Because we are applying the force only the. How there is some tangential strain in the body?
I didn't get. There is a sound coming also behind. How?
So how did we get the tangential strain here? So like the body is like we are applying the force only radially. How we can
No. Therefore, your stress is that in situ stress, P naught and Kp naught. Okay.
Okay.
The stress is same. I can write again. you have P naught here and Kp naught here. This is all incident stress, and Pi is applied. This is Pi. It is same. Now, what I'm saying is, what will be the radial direction displacement? That is towards center. See this point, let's say there is point A, it will come down because this is now open space, right? This is open. So the rock here or at each point, okay, this is all coming down or maybe getting this direction. So it may be going tangentially or it may be coming radially. So there are two ways it can move. So at any point, the movement may be tangential, okay, in any direction, and radial. So this is UR and U theta, and this is 90 degree between them. Okay. This is what at any point the displacement will be like that. So if it is a plane strain condition, what is the equation that is given here? Okay, at each point, see, this is R dependent. If you can see, this is R dependent. Now I will come to that. So you see, this is a hyperbolic function with R. So very quickly, as you are moving away from the tunnel boundary, this is very quickly it will fall. This is what is the UR equation. With R here, with R here in this direction increasing, so very quickly UR will fall. You see, these are all hyperbolic function with R. So the moment R increases, so it will quickly go towards zero. Okay. So we are mostly interested, this is the generalized equation. We are mostly interested in what is the displacement right at the boundary. Okay. Why? Let me tell you, we are so much interested there because people are standing over there. If I can draw, let's say somebody is standing here and there is a piece of rock hanging here. This is the piece of rock hanging there. So you need to know what is the displacement UR. Okay. So I need to know this. So for the stability, this UR is very important. Okay. The radial directional displacement, because you will be walking through this tunnel or a vehicle will go along that tunnel or a train will go. So I need to know what is up there, how much they will displace, and I have to restrict that displacement. Okay, if I find time in this class, at the end I will tell you a little bit about something called ground reaction curve and support reaction curve. Maybe I can go a little bit into this. So now we are interested right at the boundary. So that makes our life little easy if I consider right at the boundary. So right at the boundary, what happened? R equals to A, right? R equals to A. So this part goes P naught minus Pi into A by 4G. And now if I assume it is K equals to 1, if I assume it is K equals to 1, then what is the value of K dash? If K equals to 1, what is the value of K dash?
1.
1, sir.
1. So this is 1 plus 1. You see the first equation UR. So the 1 plus K dash, that become 2. And this is since 1, this entire thing goes 0. So this is 2, and so it will cut down. So I find right at the boundary UR is equals to P naught minus Pi A by 2GR. Okay. This is what equation becomes if K equals to 1. then this is the, sorry, R is not there. I'm sorry. R is gone. So this is what is the relationship between UR and material property G and radius A. So what you are seeing here, if the radius increases, the displacement will be more, number one. Number two, if G is less, oh sorry, if G is less means modulus of elasticity is also very low. Then also UR will be high, and it will be extremely high because it is sitting in the denominator. So little bit of change will, change it. So if the material is loose, like a soil, so it will be very difficult to, control your tunnel. It is not the stress which will collapse your tunnel. It is the displacement which will collapse. See, if this value is very low, this will be extremely high. So you will not be able to control the tunnel. The moment you drive the tunnel or make excavation, it will collapse. Those kind of tunnel we call squeezing tunnels. Normally they encounter in metro, when they make metro. I'm not sure whether you have read in the newspaper or saw in the TV last year, or maybe around 1.5 years ago, or maybe last year, while they're driving east-west metro in Calcutta, they found a water body. And because of that water body, they didn't anticipate it. A lot of water inrush happened, and that caused more or less collapse of so many buildings, because it was going, it was underneath the very heavily dense locality, and many building was collapsed and people had to be shifted immediately. Fortunately, nobody dies or anything. So they had enough time to take them away. And this area was basically, it was a soil type material, as well as the water inrush happened. There was a water body locked in, they didn't know before. And that caused the material also become much more loose. So you cannot say anybody's fault, because the water body they didn't know. And that entire machine, which is called TBM, tunnel boring machine, which they got it from some European country, that got stuck over there. And now they got permission to take it up. So that will take another 6 months just to take that machine up, because it's a very, very expensive machine. I think it came from Austria or somewhere. So even little bit of, unexpected, this material behavior can cause a lot of issues when you go for this kind of operations. So we must be very much vigilant, and we must know why it is happening. Okay, that is the main aim for this. But that's a very much more complicated. I'm telling you in very easy term. The situation is much more complicated than that also. It's not a simple one equation. What you need to know, that there is a displacement called radial displacement. It's called UR, and it depends on P naught, Pi. Those are two. P naught is your in situ stresses. In situ stress. Pi is the support pressure I'm going to apply. A is the radius. So if the radius increases, this will increase. And if the material property like modulus of elasticity is low, this UR will be even higher, much higher. Okay. So this is what is the relationship between displacement, material property, and geometry like radius. Right? Now, I think last class I discussed one issue about influence channel. So this is the last topic in here. I'm going to solve you a problem using Excel. I have already solved it. I will explain it to you. And this is a problem from the book, but I saw today there are some calculation mistake in the book also. So what is the problem is all about, and what is that influence is all about? Now the problem goes like this. A small tunnel of diameter 3 meters is going to be constructed. This is somewhere is the surface below 450 meters. Okay, this is what is given, and the gamma of this rock is given as 26 kilonewton per meter cube. Okay, they said you assume K equals to 0.3. So just the geostatic stress we are assuming K equals to 0.3. Assuming this, first problem number 1, I think this you can do. There is a point here 1, point here 2, and point here 3, which is 0 degree, 90 degree, and 180 degree. Okay, and you need to find out sigma RR, sigma theta theta in all these 3 points, and is something called FOS, which is called factor of safety or safety factor. We have to calculate in this 3 point, given that UCS, uniaxial compressive strength, is 40 MPa and UTS, uniaxial tensile strength, is 2 MPa. Okay, so the first problem is clear. A tunnel of 3 meter radius is going to be constructed 450 meter below, having the average density of rock of the overburden is 26 kilonewton per meter cube. Assume K equals to 0.3. That means the the normal geostatic condition. You need to calculate sigma RR, sigma theta theta in this 3 point 1, 2, 3, where 1 is theta equals to 0 degree, 2 90 degree, and 3 180 degree. And then calculate the factor of safety. I'll give you the definition, where UCS, uniaxial compressive strength of this rock here, these are the rock. Okay, this uniaxial compressive strength of this rock is 40 MPa and UTS is 2 MPa. Okay, how many of you can do that? Factor of safety is nothing but sigma theta theta by UCS in this condition, or sigma RR by UTS. Sorry, or sigma theta theta by UTS. Whichever you want to use. It will depend. I'll tell you where to use which one. Okay. I think I did reverse. Sorry. This is not it. It's just reverse. Strength by stress. Strength by stress. Okay. Now, how many of you can do that? Or at least can tell me how to do it, how to start.
So if A will be equal to R, then the radian will be 0 because the formula says
Yes, so sigma RR will always come 0 and sigma theta theta will depend upon theta always if A is equal to R.
Right. So you will use Carr solution, find out sigma theta theta at point 1, 2, and 3, and then you will be able to find out using that Carr solution, right? And then you will know that those values and factor of safety. You will do this. Now, where to use UTS and where to use sigma theta theta, I will tell you. Is that clear? For this problem, for this condition, so you'll be able to do, right? Whatever right now is told to you. I think no confusion here.
P naught will be rho GH, na, in this formula.
Yeah, P naught will be rho GH, correct. That is I was asking. So rho GH here, rho G is already given 26 kilonewton per meter cube. H is 450. So you know the P naught, you know K P naught, then multiply by 0.3, or you know K. So just a application of those formulas. So there is nothing there. Okay. Only thing I will tell you where to use UTS by sigma theta. Okay. When I go to that Excel, let me first give you the problem statement, all of them. Now here comes the issue. Now let's say whoever is the company or the government, whoever is making this tunnel, they have decided, well, we have to make another tunnel, and another tunnel about, oops, this is fine, should go away. Why it is not going? What happened? Sometime I'm here now. They are deciding they are going to make another tunnel about 10 meters away. Oh, I have chosen the maximum one. Huh? Okay, 10 meters away from this center, but this tunnel, although the central line will be the same at the same level, this is 450 meters, but its diameter will be little bigger. This is 6 meters. Okay. Now they have consulted you. Well, you have studied rock mechanics from IIT Kharagpur. So you tell us whether it is safe to build this 6 meter tunnel 10 meters away. What you are going to do? How you are going to approach that problem? You understood? Everybody understood the problem? What I am asking?
Should be zone of influence.
Right. So your first approach will be to calculate the zone of influence, right? Of which tunnel? Only one or both?
Left one.
Left hand side tunnel.
Only left hand side. What about right hand side? You don't have to do?
No, we have to do.
You have to do. Okay. So now the first thing when it comes, you have to see, oh, it is just 10 meter. Let me first calculate whether the zone of influence is affecting. So I have to first know what is the zone of influence of this tunnel. So definitely since K is given 0.3, so what will happen is this is not circular. Okay, the zone of influence, it will be elliptical. And I'll show you this. It is basically something like this, elliptical. This everything, all calculation I will show you. Similarly, you have to do the same for this one. This will be even a bigger one. Okay. And it is also ellipse. This will also be a ellipse. And you will see there is a zone of influence. I don't know how far it will go. I'll show you in the calculation. So this you have to calculate. Then you can go back to your boss, whoever has asked you to do it, and you can tell him, sir, this is coming under zone of influence. Are you ready to go? Because we need to do a lot of supporting, lot of PI. Maybe we have to give. Otherwise, this will not be stable. Okay. So first thing is that then your boss will say, okay, you calculate and give it to me. Then we will decide. So this is how it will progress. Now the question is, my second problem, what you are going to calculate, that what happened to stresses at 0.1, 0.2 and 0.3? Considering now this zone of influence, and what happened to the factor of safety? Because you had a previously factor of safety, now whether it is increasing or decreasing, so that you need to calculate and present it to your boss, that it is factor of safety is decreasing, it's not a good idea, or we have to increase the PI, something we have to do. With this problem, what we are solving without the PI, there is no PI is applied. Okay, then you may have to tell him that we have to apply PI and reduce the sigma theta theta and increase sigma RR. So we have to do something like that. Otherwise, this will not be a problem. We will not be able to control these two tunnels side by side like this. So this is a completely design problem. Now I have solved it. Other than the factor of safety at 0.2, because this is a little complicated, I'll tell you how to do it. 1 and 3, it's very simple, and we can do. Okay, so you understood the problem, all of you. Now I will go to the Excel where I have solved it, and I'll show you. Okay. Or any confusion here regarding the problem statement? This is a design problem, remember that. Okay, this is how we design the tunnel, multiple tunnels. This is just 2 tunnel I'm showing, and it is the effect of one influence into another we have to consider now. Now you will be seeing this Excel file again. And I go one by one. There are a lot of calculations are there. I'll tell you one by one. I can make it full screen. I don't know how to make it full screen. Anyway, you are able to see this, right? This Excel file.
So to make it full screen, you just need to change it to the view, sir. There is a more actions is there, na, sir? If you go to the more actions.
More actions where? In view?
No, you have seen this one, show participants, and all these things will be there, na, sir? On top of it.
Okay, over there. No, I'm
more options.
This Excel file. This is already full view, but this Excel file, if I could have, I think if everybody is able to see this, I have no issue. Everybody is able to see this. It's visible. K equals to 0.3. Depth is 450 meter. Gamma is 26 kilonewton per meter cube. You're seeing all this, right? So you see, this is just the multiplication of that, these two, B2 into B3. So 450 into 26, and I divided by 1000 to make it megapascal. Okay. So this is in megapascal because it was kilonewton per meter cube. So I converted it into meganewton per meter cube and then take. Now this theta is doesn't matter. It is not using anywhere. The first tunnel A is 1.5. So I'm first calculating the first problem. A is 1.5, Pi is 0, K is 0.3, UCS is 40 and UTS is -2 because it's in tension. Okay. And you can see here I calculated for at R equals to 1.5, that means in the boundary. For theta equals to 0, these are all radians because this is we'll be using in the, see, this is radians 90 because that is what goes into the equation, radian, not the degree. So as you have said, sigma RR will be 0. So you can see all three will be 0. At point 1, this is the point 1. Your sigma theta theta is 31.59. Okay. So it used to be 11.7 and now it is 31.59 at that boundary, and sigma RR is 0. It is behaving like a uniaxial compression because there is no confinement here. It is 0. At 90 degree, this is minus 1.17. So can anyone tell me what it is? Minus 1.17. So this is the same sigma theta theta equation I have used. The same what is I told you in the class. Okay. So this minus 1.17 meaning what?
Tensile strength.
Tensile stress. So your sigma theta theta is in tension and acting horizontally. Okay. Here, see, here it is vertical, sigma tt, the direction. Okay, you understand? This is here it is vertical. Here it is horizontal, right at 90 degree and acting horizontally. So it is trying to break the rock in tension or fracture the rock. And again in at 180 degrees, so in the other side, so this will be same as this one because it is just in the other side. This will be symmetric. And this is again will be your vertical. Okay, this is again vertical. So what is the safety factor? So safety factor you can see the B9, which is 40 UCS divided by sigma theta theta. So it shows 1.27. This is also 1.27. But here when you will use, because it is in tension, so you have to use the tensile strength because this is not compression. And that's why I told you where to use tension and what to use UCS and what to use UTS is depend on what is the sign of that stress you are generating. So that means here if it has to break or fracture, it has to fracture by tension. So now normally if the safety factor or factor of safety is more than 1, normally we tend to call it safe, meaning that strength is more than the stress. Okay. When strength is more than stress, then we normally say it is safe. But in any mining applications, basically just above 1 is not enough because you are sending a lot of people down there and there is so many uncertainties. You know, this is just one calculation we are doing, but there are many uncertainties which is not there in that equation, what Kars has given. So we normally consider 1.3 at least. Okay. It has to be above 1.3. Then only we will say, okay, this is safe. Okay. So in this case, I can say both of them are close to that 1.27, and definitely in the tension side it is safe because the tensile strength is 2 MPa and the stress is generated just 1.17. So it will not fracture yet. It will not fracture. Okay. So this is the first problem what was asked to you, and this is just application of equation, and this is done, and calculation of safety factor or factor of safety. Now the problem number 2, we have to now calculate the influence zone. Now influence zone to calculate, what I have to do, I think I gave you the equation. If you remember, there was a equation that function which need to be solved to get the value of R. And that need iterative solution, I told you that time. So I am using Newton-Raphson solution method to solve it with a 5% accuracy. Okay, 0.05 is what is my D. I am assuming here. So here this is for 0 degree. I have found out 5.7 meter. Okay, this value of R. So you can see this is that equation. I think you cannot read that. This is basically 1 plus K. Then B6. B6 is this is A square by R square minus D, something like that, plus 1 minus K cos 2 theta, and then 3 into A square by R square minus D. Something like this is the formula. This is the function which need to be 0. Okay. So I'm looking for a R for which this function is 0. So I'm using Newton-Raphson. I gave initial guess 6 meter, and what it is saying is it comes functional value FR comes 0. You all know the formula of Newton-Raphson, right? Anybody can tell me? Or you forgot probably. This is basically a new R is equals to R naught minus FR by F dash R, derivative of R. This is the truncated version of Taylor series. Okay, only first order. That is what is the Newton-Raphson we use in this case. So at 0 degree it is saying 5.7 meter. At 180 degree also it is showing at 180 degree also it is 5.7 meter, and at 90 degree it is showing 9.68 meter. Okay, in the book it is given little wrong value. Let me show you what is in the book given. In the book it is given 6.7 meter, but it looks like it has to be 9.68 meter. Okay, so you can see it is a very pretty much ellipse. So one side it is 5.7 meter, another side is the major half of the major axis is 9.66 meter, and half of the minor axis is 5.7 meter. So it is basically ellipse. Okay. So you see it is like this. So I have written here the radius of influence in these 3 degrees are like that. So it is basically ellipse. Now similarly, I calculated for A equals to 3. That means the bigger tunnel. Okay. Somebody should write that values, because I will again come back to maybe your that thing to show whiteboard. So this is A equals to 3 meter, and that is the bigger tunnel. And in the bigger tunnel, we found your influence zone. This is 11.4 meter in that smaller axis, 11.4 meter, and the measure, half measure axis is 19.36 meter. So what was our distance between the two tunnel center is hardly 10 meter. Now here it is 11.4 meter. So this is highly influencing the smaller tunnel. It's already crossed the 10 meter, right? And so this is going to influence. There is no question about that. Okay. So we have to now consider this effect, that it is going to affect. The moment I do the bigger tunnel, this is going to affect my stress even at 0.1, which I calculated before. So these stresses which I calculate, it will no longer be this value. Now, what will be that value? Can we calculate? So what I have done, I have calculated at 0.1. Now you can see from the bigger tunnel, this will be 8.5 meter away, the 0.1, because the total distance is 10 meter minus 1.5 meter is the radius. So the 0.1 is located 8.5 meter away from the center of the bigger tunnel. You agree? Now for that, the stresses are like this SRR and STT. This is about 12.83 MPa STT and this is 4.41. At 0.1 due to, this one is due to bigger tunnel. Assuming there is no smaller tunnel, if I only do that 6 meter diameter tunnel, then this will be the stress at 0.1, which is 8.5 meter away. Now, once this happens, now I have to calculate what is the stress now combined. First, I show you this one, the sigma theta theta. Now here it was 31.59. See what I have done? I have added 3 number. This is due to tunnel 1. See C15, so 31.59. Then I have added this one C24, which is 12.83. It is due to the tunnel number 2. Then minus B4. Now what is that B4? I go a little up. B4 is that P naught. Okay, this is I'm subtracting. Now anybody can tell me why I have subtracted P naught here? I have added the induced stress of both the tunnels at 0.1 and then subtracted the in situ stress once. Why?
Basically, you're
We are having
calculating how much increase and how much it
Right.
influence.
Well, you are a little close. See, when I have calculated C15, that means this one, influence of tunnel 1, I already incorporated P naught. When I have calculated this one, there also I have incorporated P naught. Okay. So 2 times already added there. So I have to subtract 1 time. And since it's a vertical, this at 0.1 it is vertical. That's why I'm subtracting the vertical stress, which is P naught. Otherwise, I have to actually subtract the stress along that direction. But here, since it's vertical, I can straight away subtract it. So it comes about 32.72. So little increase because of that, not much. So the safety factor goes little down because now stress, as I think I have calculated, it become 1.22. And what was originally 1.27. So because of the tunnel, bigger tunnel, 1.27 become 1.22 at 0.1. Now similarly, what happened at 0.3? I can also do at 0.3. The stresses become 32.16, not much, because I am already coming towards in situ. Basically, already it is already there. And here you see this is 11.5 meter because it is in the other side. 10 meter plus 1.5 meter there. And using that distance I have calculated. So here the safety factor will go little down and it went up to 1.24 from 1.27. So I'm still okay with this. But point number 2, which is at 90 degree apart, 90 degree from the horizontal, that is not so simple to calculate because of the orientation. This I can show you. I can show you very quickly. Just I have to go one more time, and then we will be finishing this. So now I think I can put some number though. I redraw this, okay? This way I can do it much quickly. So if somebody can remember, it was 5.7 and it was 9 point something. So this ellipse is something like this influence zone. This is about 5 point something meter, 7 meter or so, and this is 9.68. And then this tunnel is here, and this has 11 point something meter. So, and this is 19 point something meter. So it will go something like this. Okay. So this is what is affecting influence zone. So this entire tunnel, because this is 11 point something meter, the entire tunnel is in influence. Okay. And I have showed you what happened here, these 2 points, because it is in the same line. And here this sigma theta theta in this direction, which is in the direction of P naught. So that's why I could directly subtract. But this point is little problematic because this is with an angle with this. You see, there is an angle here. So you have to find out this angle. And then the effect of this one, the radial stress is in this direction and tangential is in this direction, not exactly vertical and horizontal. That's why then you have to again rotate this stress to find out in a vertical and horizontal. So you understand what I'm saying? The point number 2, I can, when I'm estimating these stresses because of this is my radial distance, this is my R, and this will be my theta, you can assume. Okay, if you take from counterclockwise. So if I assume this is theta, so this is the point, and it is not actually will come vertical and horizontal. Then whatever sigma R or sigma theta theta you find, we have to rotate it or transform it into horizontal and vertical to subtract or add with the value we receive from this one. That's why I didn't calculate. I just thought I would tell you. So this is how the influence of one of the another we can calculate by hand. Okay, but fortunately we have now many sophisticated software to do all this. You can also write a software if you like, or a program to calculate, multiple. Why just 2? If series of tunnels which we already have in mines. So what is the effect of one into another? We can calculate. Okay. So these are the different applications of CAR solutions. So do not think that CAR solution is just 3 equations. Okay. It does many things for us. Okay. That is the main aim of telling you all these things. Okay. So we stop here.